A good day. This is Cheryl Swan-Edmunds with Monarch Art Inc. And I hope you're having an amazing day. So I want to talk to you about two paintings today. One is the painting of Eight, and one is the painting of Immorality. And what I want to share with you is, in the beginning, artists, on my journey as an artist, I spent a few months in complete solitude and really being able to express with my imagination the spirit of energy and how it felt between heaven and hell. And eight is named after the wholeness of spiritual between those two realms. And that is really what Eight is about. It's a very, very, very special painting to me. And there's a limited amount of those paintings that I painted in complete solitude for months. And really learning to just express the spirit of life of energy through my imagination. And as you can see at that point, and learning how to, express that, my imagination was just forming into how it would express that spirit of life energy. And so it's a pretty amazing painting, and and I just love it. And if you look over here now, you can see how it's a similar expression, but then it has it really has some differences with the reality coming in the painting, which you can see in Eight. It was just all pure expression of the life of energy with the imagination. And then over here, it's like, I would say a good 75% of that canvas is imagination, and how it's really, really transformed into having some reality in there, with like the bottom portion of it, with the quarter, well, about a quarter to a third of the bottom portion of the painting. And that is with the mountains in creation, and adding that reality standpoint of earth into what is that spirit of energy of life, like that energy of life, and that being reflected, like how would it feel to play amongst the angels? How would it be for Jesus to be awakened? Because there's a lot of prayer that takes place and is present when I'm painting with imagination. There's a lot of depths of prayer, because it's just such a moment in time. But this one required about 3 days of a somewhat solitude in order for this to derive in the painting. And along with that, I believe with Eight, I went through a period of learning how to connect with like a rhythm and harmony of my own organs. Like learning, how does it feel when your heart is beating? How does the blood feel? How does, to really take that feeling and put it into the flow of a canvas with a painting. And then as well, like, how does it feel like with knife work? And I use knife work in here, how does that feel with that knife work? Meaning, if you're going to, if you have some, like with the knife work, when I have knife work, it's like I have more subtle movements rather than the flowing and harmony and rhythm. So in the knife work, I can get some of that, work through in here. And what that may feel like is actually transitioning into this serenity and peacefulness and tranquility that then is more of this gentleness that gets painted in the sky work. So yeah, and the knife, yeah. So it's very interesting. And then with what is happening, so like in this one, you can see in the sky work, I actually took what it felt like when I was exercising, and my heart flow was, and my heartbeat was faster on what I was doing that day for exercise. So I reflected that into the red and blue up there with the ribs. And I've learned to kind of incorporate the feelings of my own my own being and existence in the actual painting. Where over here, you could see that I actually just painted, like, here's what a hand feels like, this is my image of what a hand feels like. And then in here, you can see the image of how the hand may feel throughout the sky and the clouds and the different stroke brushes, and the way that the harmony and rhythm of the brushes. And then over here, you can almost kind of pick out, like, well, what does what does hair symbolize? And you can almost see in like imagination, oh, it would symbolize this, and like the spirit of life. And then over here, and you can see there's not really a face on there, because it's not the reality, it's the spirit of life. And then over here, you could kind of see, well, what would the hair, how would that be reflected in the way it would feel or appear? And you can almost see that in the clouds and some of the images up there. So it's very interesting to see how life is actually expressed along with imagination, and that is of the mind, and the being and the existence. That's really what that painting is reflected. So yeah, and this is a very good comparison. So yeah, this is Cheryl Swan-Edmunds with Monarch Court Inc. So I hope you're having an amazing day. And thank you for being here on this video and enjoying these paintings. Okay, thank you.